Hi guys, thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time here, my name is Natalie Zaje. This channel is all about healing and how to manage life living with a chronic disease, in my case lupus, and mental health difficulties. As you may already know, living with a chronic illness brings about a lot of emotional and mental stress. So in this space, we talk about what toll it takes both on the physical body, the emotions, and how we might use spirituality to help offset some of those difficulties. So in this video specifically, we're going to continue our conversation about healing crystals and how I have incorporated some of those into my holistic approach to health and wellness and some of the benefits that many of us report from using them. In ancient times, crystals were regarded as divine, and for that reason alone, they were often used for healing and protection and incorporated into many spiritual rituals. Crystals have a special and unique energy field, a special and unique vibration that each one of them carries, and that frequency is unchanging. So the way that it benefits us is that if, let's say, this specific crystal is vibrating at love, when you wear it, even though you may be experiencing some things during that day that are not necessarily resonating with love, that crystal is going to maintain that same vibration, that same energy. For those of you who are spiritual, you understand that everything is energy and everything has an energy to it. And even if you're not spiritual and you study physics or quantum physics, then a lot of these concepts are going to be very familiar to you. So since we know that everything has energy, because at a molecular atomic level, nothing stands still, everything is constantly moving, it's about surrounding ourselves with the energies that invite healing, that invite harmony, that invite peace. As many of you know, a huge trigger for lupus, if you're living specifically with lupus, a huge trigger is stress and stress management. So having crystals that help reduce the impact of that stress, on your energetic field can definitely help you feel more settled, more calm. Obviously, a lot of this is esoteric knowledge. There is no science to back any of this up. But even if we're going with the fact that it's like wishful thinking, if we're going with that theory, I think the awareness of that crystal physically being in your environment would naturally bring about certain expectations of yourself. So even if we go with that outside of the spiritual realm, what I'm expressing here is that basically having a crystal around you or with you that you know is vibrating at love at the very low level is going to make you more mindful of how your energy at all times is aligning or misaligning with the vibration of love. And that awareness, that consciousness is what we call mindfulness, right? Present day mindfulness. That mindfulness is essentially what propels us to want to sustain our energy at a certain vibration. So it's that recognition that the crystal is kind of like the calibrator of our energy, and understanding that because we are humans, we go through various experiences that are not always of love and that aren't always pleasant. But because we know this crystal here is vibrating at this vibration continuously, it's then up to us to be aware of its presence, aware of its impact on us, and to try to simulate that same energy in us. So back to this concept that everything is energy and energy is neither created nor destroyed, and all of us are made out of energy. Food is energy. When you think about it, reading the nutrition facts behind, behind the label of, on the back of that food product that we purchase is basically reading about the energies. Like, is it carbohydrates? Is it protein? Is it fat? And how do each of those basically dissolve in the body? How soon? How long does it take? So we understand the concept of energy. We understand that we eat energy. We understand that we are energy. Therefore, everything else around us is also energy. And some crystals actually emit energy, and that can be scientifically studied. There are some types of crystals that are called pyroelectric crystals. Those crystals are actually known for generating electricity when they're heated or when they're cooled off all the way down. Some crystals also generate electricity in addition to some crystals just sustaining that stable energetic vibration for us. When our ancestors, struck those two flints together back in the day before they knew what electricity was, they were able to create electricity. The electricity that we use now is a product of that. So it's this concept of basically utilizing energy at a specific vibration to be able to make a fire. It's that same exact concept. A Greek philosopher, Theophrastus, noted in 287 BCE. So this is a very long time ago. This philosopher noted that tourmaline, which is one crystal in particular, basically carried enough electrostatic charge to be able to repel straw. He noticed that tourmaline also attracted straw. As of present day, tourmaline in Asia is still known as the electric stone because several researchers have done research on this crystal and have confirmed that this crystal carries a steady charge of electricity. Other researchers in the 1850s discovered that quartz, when heated, will also carry electricity. Of course, you don't need to heat any of your crystals to get its benefits, but this is just to explain how crystals themselves carry a specific energy. In the case of quartz in particular, what happens is that quartz are able to basically take, like a mechanical routine action as an example and transform that into electricity. Kind of like, how a battery is able to load up a watch, which creates that ticking sound that we hear. So that ticking sound can also load up that battery of that same energy. It's this kind of transfer of energy that is never ending between the rhythm of that action and the electricity that is created. So some of you may be surprised to know that quartz are actually still used today in many of the processes that we have around our homes, like the microwave, that beeping sound that the microwave makes whenever the food is ready. Yeah, quartz. You can also find it in phones, in microphones, in printer ink, in lighters, gas lighters, cigarette lighters, basically any sort of mechanism through which a repetition of a mechanical aspect of the use of that thing is utilized. The energy of quartz can automatically be transferred into electricity, which I think is just super cool. So we have enough scientific evidence now to understand that crystals carry energy. Crystals generate energy. Crystals can sometimes repel certain energies and propel certain energies forward. So if they can do that for machines, surely they can do the same thing for humans. So that is the sort of logical thought process behind crystals and why they were so highly pursued and valued in ancient times, and why they were included in a lot of spiritual rituals in ancient times. It's because there's enough evidence, perhaps anecdotal evidence back then, about how they might benefit somebody's health by basically using them in a way that reinforces an energy that you want to push forward into the world. Next week, I want to talk about the different colors of crystals and what they represent. So hopefully I'll be able to give you a little cheat sheet to recognize different types of crystals, what type of energies each one of them brings along with them. So if you're looking to get into crystals, you at least have some sort of a roadmap to get you started. So that's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this content. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share the video with anyone that you know that is into crystals or healing stones. Have a good rest of your day. Au revoir.